Over 2 years after Daunte Wright was killed in a traffic stop, his mother received what she said she's been fighting for: closure. From the snow days of winter to the dog days of summer, Minnesotans are no strangers to cold, but today, how we're handling extreme heat. Leaders in the horse racing industry are urging legislators to say nay to a bill on sports betting that they say would directly impact their livelihoods. For most Minnesotans, their nights ended as soon as the snow started falling, but for plow drivers, it was just the beginning of a very long night.
I didn't go today. Thank God I didn't go today.
Brandon Rogers woke up to the sound of gunshots.
It's intense when it happens close to where you live.
As the Wright County Sheriff's Office attempted to arrest a man with outstanding warrants in the parking lot of the local Dollar General.
He's been shot with less lethal, still refusing to drop the firearm.
Initially using non-lethal force,
I'll fire to start our...
but shooting the man when he refused to comply and pulled a gun.
We got a male with multiple gunshot wounds. He is conscious at this time.
And he was taken to the hospital. We talked to people here in Montrose today, and they say that this Dollar General is a lifesaver for community members. But we talked to a person today who says that her lifesaver was that she left when she did.
Pulled into my driveway, and before I could get out of my vehicle, I heard the gunfire.
Dora was in the store right before it happened.
I could have been in the store when he was in the store. We could have passed each other, and I don't know until I see a picture of him.
Although authorities haven't named the man shot, members of the neighborhood told us he lives half a mile away, down the street. We saw deputies at the house, and court records say the man who lives there has a history of violence against the police. And as authorities and evidence markers litter the parking lot of the local staple, community members are hoping for a return to safety.
I do appreciate the fact that the sheriff's department handled everything, and the man that was here, that he's alive, yes, because we never want to see someone die from something like this.
Emily Storm, WCCO News.
I never saw the black car. I never heard it. I never saw it leave. It was crazy.
For John Sweitz, a trip to the gas station pumped the brakes on his life. In South Minneapolis, where his car tore down this street without him. Today, he returns to the gas station where it happened, because he's not the first person this has happened to.
Police said that it's so common.
And he won't be the last. A 7-minute drive away, Allison Clark's car was stolen in Edina, only 2 weeks after John's.
I was full of gas, and I was just stepping out to go run back to take the nozzle out, and the corner of my eye, I heard the door slam and the doors lock, and my car, phone, wallet, keys, laptop, everything on the front seat, and just sped away.
Edina police reported 8 car thefts since the new year, and Minneapolis crime data shows that January has seen 17 car thefts per day on average. It took mere seconds for John and Allison's cars to get stolen, and now they're taking their time to make sure it doesn't happen to someone else.
I'd really want to make sure that one other person can think twice and lock their car door, just that one extra little time to save them from all this. Absolutely worth it.
I don't think I've ever locked my car when I put gas in, but I guess I've learned my lesson.
Their cars have since been recovered, but remember to lock the doors on your car and to take the keys out of the ignition when filling up, because you never expect it to be you until it is. Emily Storm, WCCO News. For some, the heat and the crowds of the Minnesota State Fair are a nightmare, but I talked to a new food vendor who says this is her dream. Today, I talked to business owners, and they shared with me their recipes for success.
It's good.
Here's to the great Minnesota get-together. Cheers.
People travel far and wide for the Great Minnesota Get-Together, some crossing state lines, and others crossing oceans.
2 women immigrants from Nepal came to this country with such a big dream.
This is Momo Dosa's State Fair debut.
Words cannot describe how, amazing it has been. We are so grateful.
And people are lining up to discover what this self-started business has in store.
And with this kind of line, it just feels like it's been going way too fast.
At the International Bazaar, where vendors celebrate their cultures through music, food, and art, with generations of history at their fingertips.
46 years.
46 years.
46. I am the 3rd generation in my family.
For Linda Tong, it's a labor of love as she hand paints unique accessories and wares.
The whole process to make one piece take about 3 months. The bigger piece like the fish, the vase, It's one of a kind, and each piece takes about 4 months.
That has people coming back every time.
I was here maybe more than 30 years. I do have a lot of customers. Sometimes when they came back, they just say, Linda, which one is new?
From Linda's longtime business to Rashmi's State Fair debut, the International Bazaar is their way to serve customers a slice of their history and culture.
This is WCCO News, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Storm with your news update. It's the first full day of spring and we're tracking snow. The WCCO Next Weather Tower is still blue, not green, because the first round of snow won't happen until tomorrow night. This weather isn't just confusing us though, it's throwing off plants and trees too. Spring bulbs like tulips and daffodils may already be emerging. Even so, garden experts say it's too early to do outdoor spring cleaning or planting. They recommend waiting until we hit highs of 50 degrees consistently.
It has been the weirdest winter, so everybody has this spring fever of like trying to put elements and colors and bring the happiness again. But just a couple more days, maybe hold it.
With the possibility of snow on the way, it's a good idea to cover some plants with mulch or a sheet. However, don't worry too much. Garden experts say many spring bulbs are tougher than you think. As quickly as the weather changes, you can count on our Next Weather team to keep you up to date. We're now working to get new information on an investigation that triggered an Amber Alert, including if 2 people found dead in a home are somehow connected to it. That Amber Alert went out on Friday to find a boy taken from Red Lake Nation by his mother. Someone eventually spotted them south of Long Prairie. Monday night, we told you the boy's mother, Jennifer Stately, is charged with assault, torture, and neglect. That's because investigators found the toddler hungry and hurt. He had sores and burns potentially from chemicals or heat. This is the address listed on Stately's court documents. That's where Red Lake police say they found 2 people dead after a fire on Friday, the same day the Amber Alert went out. Again, investigators haven't said whether the 2 cases are connected. They also haven't said who died. Count on WCCO to keep asking for answers. Thieves are slicing copper wires for a little cash. It's become so common, the city of St. Paul is struggling to keep the streetlights on. The St. Paul Police Department held a community meeting last night to update everyone on efforts to curb the problem. They encouraged people to report any suspicious behavior. The city has tried several different tactics to deter criminals, such as labeling wires and keeping streetlights on. And soon, they will raise the access panels on the lights. City leaders are now advocating for legislation that would require anyone buying or selling copper to have a license issued by the state, similar to Minnesota's catalytic converter laws.
It's a huge financial cost. It's a huge cost to anyone who wants to walk around, in our great parks, or who's living on a street where this copper wire might have been stolen 2 or 3 times.
In 2023, the city spent $1.2 million on wire theft repairs. That's up from $250,000 in 2019. Many more Minnesotans could get a pay boost if some state lawmakers have it their way. A DFL plan would raise Minnesota's minimum wage to $15 an hour beginning in August. It would bump up $1.25 each year after. Then in 2028, the minimum wage would become $20 an hour. Yesterday, some workers told lawmakers they're just not making enough to live.
As a union member, working 2 jobs, living in sustainable housing, what more should I be doing to not just survive, but to thrive in this beautiful state of Minnesota?
This new bill would impact every business in the state. That's a major concern for small business owners, many of whom already struggle with the cost of labor. A $1 million Powerball ticket has been sold south of the metro to Zumbro Falls, and it has them buzzing. The big question is, who bought it?
It's all I've been hearing on all day.
And I hope it's somebody local that can use the money.
It could be somebody from Lake City or it could be somebody from Rochester. I think it'll be sweet if it is somebody we do know.
The owner of Falls Standard BP says this is the first time he's ever sold a winning ticket this big. Fewer than 200 people live in Zumbro Falls. Until someone claims the prize, they're holding out hope that one of their neighbors is Minnesota's newest millionaire. That's a look at today's news updates. For CBS News Minnesota, I'm Emily Storm. Have a good afternoon.